Unless you're happy internally, you're content with what you have. That's all that matters. Hello beautiful people, welcome back or welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's my birthday, y'all. I feel so blessed. I'm so grateful for life and everything that's happening. But in today's video, as you can tell by the title, even though nobody asked, I'm going to be sharing with you some 21 lessons I've learned of my 21 years of life. So stay tuned, let's get into it. Let's get into this outfit though. It's popping. Hopefully I don't stain it. I'm just gonna get ready, just gonna do some makeup and then talk about the 21 lessons. So let's get into it. So while I prime my face, this is the e.l.f. primer, that's one I've been using. I'm going to say the first thing. The first lesson that I've learned is that gratitude is a must. Blessings are for my life and we thank God for the journey, the earning, not us for the plus. Gratitude is a must, yeah. Being grateful for what you have right now in life is just a gateway to like getting new things. If you're not really grateful for the things that you have right now, you will never like appreciate what you have later. So I'm always like grateful for the things that I have, the people I have in my life, what's going on, the good and the bad. I'm grateful for everything and like hope to improve from there. And the next one is nobody really cares, honestly, if you think about it. Like sometimes we get so caught up on what people care. Like when I wanted to start my YouTube channel, sometimes I was scared of what people would think about me and maybe what I post or what I've done or stuff like that. Like I was worried of what people would think, but honestly people don't really care. Everybody's living their life, everyone is busy, so they don't really care what you're doing. Maybe they might give their opinion, but at the end of the day, nobody really cares. I found that blending with a brush is better than a beauty blender, so now I blend with a brush. The next lesson is that comparison is really a thief of joy. Another example that I like to use is that sometimes when I look at my YouTube channel and the growth and the subscribers, the views and like the watch hours and everything, sometimes I like to compare with like the other YouTubers that I've watched. But something that I have to keep in mind is that most of the ones that I watched started like 2 years ago. Not two, like most of them started like a long time ago. So comparing what I'm doing to what they're doing is different. Everyone's life is different. So really comparing and not really appreciating what you have really steals the joy that maybe you should be appreciating right now from what you have. It's good to compare sometimes to see, but the comparison should not be with in comparison with someone that have done it for a long time, have different resources than you, and their life is different from you. The comparison should be between where you started and where you're going right now, or where you're at right now. It shouldn't be other people. You should compare yourself to yourself. In life we're our own competition, so we should compare our before to now, not really what someone has done, because sometimes we don't know maybe the sacrifices that they would go on with, you will not do it. So you can't compare what they're doing, especially when you don't really know what they do behind the scenes. YouTube is like a lot of behind the scene things that people don't see. It's not just what I sit before the camera and do. I do a lot of things before. Shouldn't really compare. Fourth one, life is in all actuality your own responsibility. When you think about it, like your happiness depends on you. If you depend your happiness on other people, it's really bad. At the end of the day, if everybody loves you, respects you, do all the good things to you, but you choose not to be happy, you are gonna be unhappy. You just have to choose to be happy by your own self. Ultimately, it all ends up to life being your own responsibility. I really like to think of that because I'm really into being like independent and not really, of course we need people in life, but it's best to have that mindset, that really have the mindset that you have to depend on someone for your happiness or what will make you happy, you know. Next, I'm going to go on to the eyebrows. Next thing, which is, if you have something to do it now or as soon as you can, instead of waiting for like the right time, because the right time most of the time doesn't really ever happen. The right time is now, when you have the resources and the ability to get it done. For example, schooling. If you want to go to school and you have the resources, sometimes you don't have the resources, then you can't do it right now or ASAP. But if you have the resources, the best thing is to get it done as soon as possible, because time is really ticking. We just came into our sophomore year, first semester, and now they're saying we should start applying for our spring classes. I'm like, we just came to school, why are you like rushing us? But time is going that fast, and we don't really have the time. We have to get it done as soon as we can. So time is going fast, so if you have something to do and you have the resources, don't let fear or other things hold you back. Do it as soon as possible, as soon as you can. Next one is expectation kills. I like to not expect anything from anyone. Oh, for example, like my YouTube channel. If I post a video, it's not my expectation that my friends or my family will post it on their social media to, if they post it, fine, to promote it, that's fine. If they don't post it, that's fine. That's why it's important to think that life is your own responsibility, because if you think that way, you wouldn't really expect anything from anyone. If they do things for you, then that's fine, but if they don't, that's also fine. The expectation kills. Expecting anything, don't, like, people. Another lesson that I learned is that people are going to disappoint you, and that really stems from expecting things from people. That's what I've realized. Like, if you expect people to do this, do that, people have lives, people have responsibilities. Everyone is doing something to make their life better, to be happy. So if you expect things from them and they don't give it to you, you're just gonna be disappointed, and disappointment sucks. So not really expecting them to do this or that helps minimize the disappointment. Next, I forgot what number I'm on, but the next thing that I've learned is that if the whole idea that, oh, in life you go to school or maybe you learn a job and then you will like make money, get a house, get married, and like that's it. It's not really the whole epitome of life. Life has more to it than that. I don't know if I'm the only one that had the idea, but mostly growing up, that's the idea that I really got from what we were taught in school, our parents, elders in the family. That's what they were really kind of preaching, like, oh, especially for us girls, that you should go to school, learn how to cook, because you're gonna get married and your husband has to. That's not bad or anything, but that's not everything life is. there's so much more to life that we don't even know. I think now that social media is like open and people share their life like in lifestyle blogs and stuff, we get to know that there is so much more to life than what we know there is. Like there's so much. Moment of silence for my eyebrows. Next, I think I already said this, but everyone's timeline is different. Someone will get rich at 40, someone will get rich at 16. You see those children that get rich like from TikTok and stuff, that's their lifetime. Maybe I will get rich at 30, probably not, but I will get rich at 30. That's my lifetime, and that's okay. I don't have to have the same lifetime as everybody. Maybe I will have children at 25. No, probably not, but maybe that's my lifetime. So that also stems from the comparing thing. Like if you compare your life to someone else, you're like, oh my god, this person has this at this age, this person has that at that age. And so that's their lifetime, that's what their life is supposed to be. Yours is probably different, and everyone's is different. Even if it's similar, it's not the same, it's different. This eyebrow is really eyebrowing. Try to salvage it, but probably still not that good, but whatever. The next thing that I learned, it was like an important lesson, that you're just gonna outgrow some friends, like some friends that you had in, let's say, middle school in American terms, or like you had in JHS if you're from Ghana. You're not, some of them you're gonna outgrow them, some of them your values won't align anymore, or like what you want in life, the pace that you're going in life, the level you're in life, not that you're above them or below them, but it just doesn't align, and it's okay. Like you're just gonna outgrow them, or they're gonna outgrow you, and that's fine. You don't have to be the exact same thing. Like you don't have to be friends forever. Some of the friends you outgrow, and that's totally normal, that's fine. Next thing that I also learned is that you should never assume anything about anyone. Even if you feel like you know them. There's so much to people. I'm going to conceal now. There's so much to people that we feel like we know that we probably don't know. There's so many layers of a person that we will probably never get to know despite our closeness with them. So you should never really assume anything about anyone. People are also going through stuff that they can never say out loud, so you should never really assume anything, absolutely anything, because you never know. Even if you feel like you know, even if the person is so open, there's some fears, some pains, some experiences that they'll be too afraid to share. Where's the other one? Oh. I always try not to assume that I know everything about someone, or I know that this person she's like this, because you never know. I just learned this in my ethics class, but I also kind of knew this, but the class like emphasized what I knew. Like what people think of you is out of your control. Like you have no control of that. How they will think about you can never control that. How they will see you, what they think of you, of course you can never control. Like no matter what you do, if they think of you that a certain way, that's how they're gonna think of you. Like you can't change that, sadly. Even if you feel like you want to, you can't. Next thing that I learned is to take people as they are and not feel like they're gonna change, or I can change them, or at some point like they're gonna change is the biggest one. Like with time they're gonna change. When things happen, they're gonna change. Just take people as they are, because people are bound to change sometimes, but 7 out of 10 people stay as they are. It's so hard for them. It's like form at such a young age, or at such a crucial time of their life, of people's life. So it's so hard to break from them. So they're just gonna be like how they are. No matter what, they're not really gonna change. So don't really think, oh, especially with relationship for the girls, don't be like, oh, this guy is gonna change at this time. They can, but the probability that they will change maybe just because of you like 9 out of 10, not gonna happen. So just learn to take people as they are, and don't be so, oh, when this happened they're gonna change, or when that happened they're gonna change. Most likely, no, they're not. They're just gonna stay the same that you met them as, or they are. And my next one is kind of counterintuitive, but at some point people are gonna evolve. Hear me out though. First, when I said people are not gonna change, like take them as they are, like I was talking about habits. But when I say people will evolve or change at some point in their life, I'm talking about they're gonna, like the things that they used to like, or the activities that they used to do, or like some simple life things, they're not gonna, at some point maybe they will want to not do that again, or continue on with that lifestyle that you know it's gonna evolve at some point, if you get what I'm saying. It's kind of hard to explain, but I know people evolve. Gotta blend. Next thing is that despite all that we feel like we know or we learned from childhood, there's so much to unlearn. Even though we're learning new things, we have to unlearn certain things. Like there's so much to unlearn, like little values or habits. There's so much things we pick up from people when we're younger that won't really benefit us in any way as we grow up. I'm contouring my nose at the moment. I think my favorite makeup product is the bronzer. But the next thing is patience is a virtue. If you're really patient, you really get to discover a lot of things that maybe you wouldn't have been able to discover or learn if you are not patient enough, or like willing to just wait for like the right time. Sometimes you just gotta wait. You gotta be patient and see how it plays out, especially when things are going badly. You just gotta be patient. Patience will show you so much things that you thought that you knew. It's gonna be like, oh my god, if I had been patient for this, I would have gotten to know so much. And there's so much to unravel in life, so you gotta be patient to actually see them happen. If you're not patient, you're just gonna bypass a lot of things. I think everybody knows this, but hard times in life will come. Life is not always flowers. Not always flowers and good times and happiness. Everybody knows that. Hard times in life happen, and it's okay. Just because you're going through a hard day, that doesn't mean like your life is over. Like hard times will come and that's fine. The next thing is, this is kind of a funny one, but there's levels. There's levels to this thing called life. Like if you've not been to someone's, there's a proverb in Ghana that says if you've not been to someone's farm, you think yours is bigger. If you haven't seen someone's problem, you think yours is bigger. If you haven't seen someone's bank account, you think you have a lot of money. But there's so much levels to this thing. Our life is, there's so much level to this thing called life. Contentment will like bring you peace if you're content in your life and you don't really require so much. Gonna be a lot happier. That's what I've realized. Last but not the least, I think I went over 21, but whatever. Not everyone is gonna like you or is gonna be okay with what you do, and that's fine. Not everybody has to like you. Not everybody has to like you. And even in life, if you do whatever you're doing and everybody likes it, you should question it, because not everybody is gonna like what you do. And this thing too, just because people don't agree with you, that doesn't mean like they don't like you. Yeah, I'm gonna add blush. The last thing that I'm going to add is that everybody's definition of happy life is different. For example, for me, if I add too much, I would say I'm living like a really happy life. And that happy life is like getting in bed, getting a good YouTube or like K-drama to watch, getting good food, and I'm happy. And someone's happy life would be going to the club, partying the night out, drinking, and that's their happy life. So everybody's definition of happy life is different. Don't let social media make you think because you're not traveling, or I'm gonna transfer the blush to my eyelids, but just because you're not traveling or like you're not doing makeup or you're not wearing like Givenchy or like Gucci or whatever, like your life is not happy. As long as you're happy internally, you're content with what you have, that's all that matters. That's all that matters, honey. Yeah, but yeah, I'm really happy. I'm 21. Life is good. School is beating my ass a little bit, but it's fine. I know that that's how life, like school is. So I'm not really surprised by this. Do like a inner corner brightness thingy. This Maybelline eyeliner. So I'm gonna try and do like a little wing. I probably overdid it. With concealer as well. Forgot to film it, but I sprayed on setting spray and like shine. All set and done. I think this is an upgrade from the last makeup last year, but if I hadn't upgraded in a year, that wouldn't make sense. So I still have a long way to go, but this is what I got. And thank you so much for watching. Hope you got a new lesson to add to your pouch or whatever. But see y'all in my next video. Bye.